It's time to take the low road, Route 73 that is, a road with as many names and even more amazing things to see. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. Nestled within the awe-inspiring landscape of the Smoky Mountains, Scenic Route 73, also known as Little River Road and Fighting Creek Road, all offer a journey like no other, winding through lush forests, along pristine rivers, and past historic landmarks. This route is a must-drive for anyone looking to experience the true beauty of the Smokies. Outside of Route 441, Route 73 is the second most popular road in the Smokies. Where 441, or Newfound Gap Road, is 33 miles of high elevations and amazing vistas, 73 offers an entirely different experience. Though if you are interested in learning more about 441, I'll leave a link in the description for a video I've done on 441. But this video is about Route 73. Where 441 gives you an elevated view, 73 is more down to earth. It takes you through thick forests and crystal clear creeks and rivers, as well as some pretty cool stops along the way. If you're looking at a map, you might see that Route 73 has a few names. Little River Gorge Road and Fighting Creek Road are two other names that show up when you search this road. But why does this 19-mile stretch of road between Sugarland Visitor Center and Townsend, Tennessee have so many names? The best answer I could find is that the dueling naming highlights the different geographical features and segments along the road's path. Locals and park officials use these names to refer to specific portions, which helps with navigation and orientation within park. At least for them. The rest of us, it's just confusing. So to keep the confusion to a minimum, I will just refer to this road as Route 73. Though Route 73 is a little over 100 miles long, much of it's unlabeled companion to 321. It's not until you reach the border of the Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg that you actually see a sign for it. It also deviates from 321 when they meet up at 441 in Gatlinburg. To get to Scenic Route 43 from Pigeon Forge, most people take the Spur. The Spur is a really weird stretch of highway that is a mixture of 321 and 441. Somehow both roads are going in opposite directions, yet they're going the same direction. Still can't figure that one. I don't know. Either way, the Spur merges Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. It also appears to be part of the park, as you will see welcoming signs for the park on either side of the Spur. Most people take advantage of the fact that the Spur bypasses the horror of traffic in Gatlinburg by taking you from Pigeon Forge into the park entrance, where we'll deposit you in the Smoky Mountain National Park. You also get a scenic view of Gatlinburg from the bypass as well. However, if you are a true glutton for punishment and want to experience all of the Scenic Route 73, you will need to go through Gatlinburg. This route can be fun and exciting if traffic is not bad, which happens sometimes, and you will get a chance to photograph the main park sign. Though there is another sign off of the bypass, it's just not as big. Both routes will take you to the Sugarland Visitor Center. This visitor center is very popular and it's a fun place to stop and, well, visit. There are clean, well-stocked bathrooms, something you will not experience much of in the park. The bathrooms are usually open past the visitor center hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so take advantage of them. During opening hours, the center has park officials who will give you information about the park, provide maps, and they also have a small nature museum. You can also get parking tags here. The parking tags are for guests who plan on parking and leaving their vehicle to hike or stay in any one place for more than 15 minutes. You can find automated park machines for day or week visits at most of the large attractions in the park. If you want an annual tag, you'll need to stop inside one of the Smoky Mountain Visitor Centers, like Sugarland. If you're a planner like me, you can also go online and purchase them before your visit. Once you're at Sugarland's Visitor Center, you have two choices to make. Well, 3 if you decide to actually go inside the visitor center. But if you are on the road, you will see a fork in the road. To the left, or technically if you just go straight, you end up into Cherokee, North Carolina. This is also called Newfound Gap Road, or 441, whichever you want to call it. If you take a right, you will be able to follow Scenic Route 73 until you end up in Townsend, Tennessee. Both are great roads, but they are not connected and will take you on entirely different adventures, so choose wisely. Newfound Gap is the high road with more elevation gains, higher views, and more vistas. 73 is going to stay at the lower elevation. You will travel through mostly dense forests and won't see many vistas. But this is where they are far superior to 441. They follow the water almost the entire way. The stretch of road carved by Route 73 has some of the most spectacular views of pristine waters. It travels along the interconnecting rivers, and you can stop and dip your feet in shallow waters, take in the sights, and enjoy the vibrant colors of the foliage reflecting in the deep, slow pools. The rivers will go from rapids to shallows to deep waters, and you will even discover a few waterfalls if you know where to look. Route 73 offers miles of roads that twist and wind their way through small canyons as you travel the base of the mountains. This route is highly enjoyed for the many water activities that people and bears enjoy to do in the mountains, such as fishing, swimming, and water tubing. Okay, so not the water tubing bears, but the rest is all fair game. Oh, stop showing off, Oliver. A few adventurous souls also try their hand at kayaking, though it isn't quite as popular as the other activities. Just be aware that anytime you make plans to visit the Smoky Mountain National Park, it is highly advised to check their website for road or trail closures. The park will close roads and attractions for weather and other hazards. Route 73 is a well-maintained paved stretch road that cuts through the park. It is more narrow and can be a slow ride if you have a large camper, but it's accessible to most size RVs, which is good since there are a few popular camping locations you can access from this road. But Route 73 can get tricky at times to navigate. One thing to consider is that it's more narrow than 441. Those corners can come at you fast. We have incidentally shared the same side of the road a few times when other motorists took their turns too wide. That is not a good feeling, and one you don't want to experience when looking over a cliff. Though you won't have many issues in the late spring, summer, and early fall months, you will see closures at times due to high winds, fallen trees, and forest fires, which is a real concern in the park year-round. The winter is when the most closures happen. Even though 73 doesn't have the high elevations and extreme climate changes that you might encounter on 441, they still get icy and can be extremely dangerous. This route doesn't seem to close as often as 441, but we have seen it shut down for long periods of time in the winter. Just watch the NPS website for updates. Route 73 is a long, windy, and slow road. The average speed limit is 25 to 35 miles an hour, and many guests will go even slower as they enjoy the views. If you want to just get to Townsend, I would highly suggest going another way. Though there are very few fast routes either way, just keep in mind that the leading cause of deaths in the Smoky Mountain Parks is vehicle related. Unfortunately, the majority of these accidents are very preventable. Reckless driving and drivers who don't make use of the scenic pullovers are the cause of most of those fatalities. A little side note before we learn what you can find around the bend if you head down 73. The fall is by far one of the most stunning times to see this road. I would argue that you will get much more color from this road than 441 in the fall, as you are right down there in the forest. The trees reflecting off of the water makes great photo opportunities. Okay, let's get to the fun stuff. I will highlight a few of the most popular stops that many people enjoy as you pass through 73, but I won't hit on many of the hikes, since this is a driving tour. Just be aware that there are tons of hiking trails along 73. One of the most popular trailheads along Little River Road leads to Laurel Falls. Laurel Falls is very much in demand. Not only is it a short hike with a relatively low elevation gain, but there is a 80-foot waterfall at the end. Though don't mistake this hike for a walk in the park. Yes, Oliver, I understand we are in a park. It was just a figure of speech. It is a 2.5-mile long hike with a 300-foot elevation gain, so it might be a challenge for people with low mobility. Two things to point out about this trail. One, since it's such a highly attended trail, parking has been a big issue. The park has designated parking areas, but they are limited. The park officials are ticketing people for not using appropriate parking spots or do not have a parking tag, which you can get at one of the automated tag machines throughout the park. The second thing is that this trail will be closing the fall of 2024 for some much needed TLC. It's unclear when it will be reopened or the extent of the work being done. I have heard that they will be fully paving the trail and maybe work on the parking area. Not sure, just a guess. The next big thing that most people enjoy taking time to stop and see is the Elkmont historic area. Elkmont is about a mile past Laurel Trailhead and is off of 73. You will see signs for the campgrounds from Route 73, and if you make that turn, you will see the campgrounds, as well as Daisy Town, or as some call it, the Elkmont Ghost Town. No, Oliver, there aren't any real ghosts here. Don't worry. Many park visitors are intrigued by this small community of buildings that have been carefully restored to their early glory. The historic Elkmont area, which was once a logging town and later a resort community, is now a part of the Smoky Mountains. The town sees thousands of visitors each year who come to see this town alone. Park guests can actually walk around the old restored buildings, discover chimneys of lost and abandoned cabins, or look for ruins of the Wonderland Hotel, the pride and joy of the Smokies until it was shut down and eventually demolished due to severe deterioration. So if you're interested in old buildings or just need a bathroom break, Elkmont has both. I have done a video on Daisy Town and give a little history on this attraction. I left a link in the description if you want more information. About another mile down the road is another large campsite, Metcalf Bottoms. Since I'm not much of a camper, and Oliver will contest to that, I can't tell you which campsite would be better. Both have great trails, easy access to the river, fresh water, bathrooms with flushing toilets, and unique attractions. Both are also known for good trout fishing, although the better spots are going to be far, far away from easy access. And don't ask me where those spots are. Oliver would have a fit. One thing we really liked when we last visited was the Little Greenbrier School. If you're brave and have a Jeep or a truck with good suspension, you can actually drive to the old schoolhouse and cemetery. The road is very questionable and is literally just wide enough for one car at a time. So, if you take the road and someone is coming the other way, one of you will have to go backwards down the road, as there is no turnaround for most of it, and you're straddling a cliff. It's narrow, very narrow, and the road is very eroded. Just be cautious. Though you can also walk to the school from the Metcalf camp area, a far safer way to get there for sure. And if you do decide to take the trip to see the schoolhouse, the Walker Sisters cabin is another mile or so down the road. Another quick side note about Metcalf, you can actually get to Townsend through the back end of the picnic area. The road that takes you out of the park is paved, but you do need to go over a narrow bridge, which is why RVs and large vehicles are prohibited. For the next 6 miles past Metcalf are more amazing views of the river, creeks, and waterways that make up the Smokies. But there is another major destination that many folks love to stop and see. It's called the Sinks. The Sinks is a striking waterfall and swimming hole located on the Little River. It has been long a favorite stop for visitors due to its dramatic beauty and accessibility, but its history is tied to both natural forces and human activity in the area. The sinks you see today were largely due to the efforts to make the river easier to move timber, as the lumber was a huge industry in the Smokies. To try and widen the river, they used dynamite. Though their efforts worked as planned, they essentially altered the path of the river, making it what it is today. Now, people will use the waters to swim and even a little cliff diving for those brave enough to try. The Meg's trailhead also starts at the Sinks. This is a 7-mile out and back hike that is of moderate difficulty. But if you want to see a view of Meg's waterfall, you can actually spot them from 73. The waterfalls can be seen about 4.5 miles past the Sinks. In poor lighting or when the shadow's in the wrong place, it's harder to see. But if you want more precise directions, I was just pulling up Google Maps. Though make sure you do it before you enter the park, since reception will not be good for most of it, if not all of the trip. Or you can get offline maps from either Google or Maps for the park, downloaded to your mobile device. Though you aren't quite at the end of 73 when you reach the Sinks, you are pretty close. But before you leave the park and end your trip down 73, there is one other major attraction that draws in millions of visitors a year. And Route 73 is one of the only ways to get there, Cades Cove. Cades Cove is a picturesque valley nestled in the Smoky Mountain National Park, off of Route 73. The Cove is another 7 miles down Laurel Creek Road, which might be a long drive some days. Cades Cove is known for its stunning landscapes, abundant wildlife, and rich historical significance. Surrounded by mountains, the Cove offers visitors an 11-mile loop road where they can enjoy the scenic views from their vehicle, spot wildlife like deer and black bears, and explore the well-preserved pioneer cabins, churches, and a working gristmill. People are drawn to Cades Cove for its tranquil beauty, opportunities for wildlife viewing, and a chance to step back in time and experience the life of early settlers in the Smokies. Just be warned that the 11 miles can take up to 2 hours or more, especially in the fall when people are leaf peeking. And if you're wondering if the extra 25 miles are worth it, and yes, it will add 25 miles to your trip, you will just have to ask the droves of people who make the pilgrimage every time they visit the Smokies. If you want to learn more about Cades Cove, I will leave a link in the description of a video I did on it. Another side hike just up Laurel Creek Road is the Tremont Institution Center. The institution is an environmental education center that offers immersive programs for people of all ages to learn about nature, ecology, and conservation. One of the highlights of a visit to Tremont is the nearby Spruce Flats Falls Trail, a moderately challenging hike that will reward visitors with a stunning multi-tiered waterfall. The hike is approximately 2 miles round trip and takes you through lush forests and over rocky terrain, offering a peaceful and scenic outdoor experience. The relatively short distance and beautiful waterfall make this hike a favorite for visitors looking to explore the natural beauty of the Smoky Mountains. I have been on this hike and will leave a description on the comments if you wanted to check it out. Okay, we almost made it to the end of 73. Now do you see why it's so popular? But before you finish up your drive and hop on down to Townsend for some dinner, make sure you take a minute to enjoy the Townsend Wye. The Townsend Wye is a popular junction within the Smoky Mountain National Park, where Little River Road and Laurel Creek Road meet, serving as a gateway to Cades Cove and Townsend, Tennessee. Known for its scenic beauty and easy access to both hiking trails and the Little River, the Wye is a favorite spot for swimming, picnicking, and relaxing by the water. The wide, calm section of the river at this junction makes it a great place for tubing and wading during the warmer months. Its central location and natural charm make the Townsend Wye a must-visit stop for those who want to escape the heat or explore the quieter side of the Smokies. A quick side note about the Townsend Wye: there aren't any signs anywhere that let you know the name of it, at least during the time of this production. Just put it in your maps and let it guide you. Though it's hard to miss since it's right at the intersection of Cades, Cove, and Townsend. And you will always see people parked and swimming in the warmer months. People love traveling Route 73 for its breathtaking scenic beauty, winding along the banks of the Little River in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. The drive offers stunning views of rushing waters, lush forests, and picturesque waterfalls like the Sinks, making it perfect for nature lovers and photographers alike. Along the way, visitors can access popular hiking trails, historic sites like Elkmont, and serene picnic spots such as Metcalf Bottoms. The combination of natural beauty and easy access to outdoor activities and peaceful stops make Route 73 a favorite scenic drive for those seeking to experience the Smokies' charm. At the time of this film's production and release, we are a non-profit channel, which allows us to share our information about the Smoky Mountain National Park. I hope this video helps you plan your visit to the Smoky Mountains. You're getting an honest review from our personal experiences, but facts and things change, so please keep us in the loop if you learn anything new and want to share your experiences in the comments. Thanks again for visiting us at Bare Facts of the Smoky Mountains. Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel.